Whether we like it or not, summer is over. If that means you're using your car more often again, remember, your car can also be caught unawares by the cold of winter. Your summer tires begin losing traction as soon as the temperature sinks below 7 degrees Celsius. Ice and frost can form even when the temperature is above freezing. For that reason, switch to winter tires before the temperature drops, and make sure they are still in good shape with sufficient tread. It's also imperative to check your car battery. Now is a good time to touch up any rusty spots in your car. Rust just loves wet weather and salt. It's also wise to add some antifreeze to your windshield fluid to keep it from freezing. And while you're at it, check to see that your windshield wipers are in good shape. Engine coolant and brake fluid can also freeze. Have a mechanic check it periodically. Useful tools you should have in your car in winter time include an ice scraper, snow broom, and gloves. To prevent the doors from freezing shut, spread some Vaseline on the rubber gaskets from time to time, and put a can of de-icer spray in your pocket if need be. A small bag of gravel or sand can work wonders when you get stuck in a snowdrift. And starter cables can help if your battery runs down. If you're going to the mountains, don't forget your snow chains. You surely practiced attaching them during the summer. Now your car is ready to face the icy months. Adjust your driving style to winter.
Number 1. Driving in fog. Do not drive at your usual speed. Slow down so that you have time to react to different hazards that may appear on the road. If visibility is extremely limited, park in a safe place and wait for the fog to clear. If you're driving in really thick fog, turn off the radio and keep your windows rolled down. This way, you'll be able to hear what's happening around you to partially make up for your limited visibility. Don't drive with your brights on. Fog consists of tiny water droplets that reflect light, making your visibility even worse. Be sure to drive with your low beams on, so that you can see the road and other drivers can see you. When the fog is really thick, drivers usually move closer to the center of the road. Beware of this natural tendency and make sure to stay in your lane. Let the outer shoulder be your guide. This way, you won't run into oncoming traffic or get blinded by the headlights there. Number 2. Driving on black ice. Now, black ice is tricky given that in most cases, you can't spot it until it's too late. When driving at night, your headlights can serve as a useful warning that there's ice ahead since they'll reflect off the road. If you absolutely have to drive when the roads are covered in black ice, be extremely careful near bridges. They're more likely to be icy than the rest of the road. And even if they've been salted to prevent cars from skidding, this road salt tends to slide down from bridge slopes pretty fast. Braking is one of the worst things you can do on black ice. When you're nearing a patch of icy road, let go of the brake even before your tires make contact with it. If you're going at a pretty high speed, it's better to pump the brakes rather than slam them. Otherwise, your car may start skidding uncontrollably. Speaking of which, number 3. What to do if your car starts skidding. First of all, take your foot off the accelerator. In most cases, if your car starts to skid, this means you're driving too fast. Again, don't slam on the brakes. This will shift the weight of the car and only cause you to lose control over your vehicle. A lot of people who drive a stick shift have been taught that along with letting off the gas, you should also change the gear to neutral. Professionals, however, recommend against this. In order to shift into neutral, you need to take your hand off the wheel, which puts you at risk of losing even that tiny bit of control over your car that you had before. Look in the direction where you want to go, not at the thing you're trying to hit. You see, in a panicked state of losing control of your car and focusing on all the stuff you're trying to avoid crashing into, you'll actually subconsciously steer towards that object. Basically, if you don't want to skid into a tree, don't look at it. Number 4. Driving in heavy rain. Don't drive with your rear fog lights on in heavy rain. The driver behind you might mistake them for brake lights, and they'll be tempted to slam theirs. On wet roads, that's a dangerous mistake for everybody around. Turn on your headlights as soon as it starts to rain. This will help other drivers spot your car faster. And, of course, you'll be able to see the road better in poor visibility. Don't use cruise control. When you control the speed of the car yourself, you naturally accelerate and slow down to maintain the speed limit. Doing this shifts the weight of your car, giving it better traction, even on a slippery wet road. Cruise control takes away this weight shifting, meaning less traction and a higher risk of skidding. Now, even if you're not driving really fast in the rain, there's always the risk of hydroplaning. This is basically when sitting water acts as a lubricant between your wheel and the road, pretty much lifting your tires off the surface. In this case, do not turn the steering wheel. Immediately take your foot off the accelerator, then slowly and steadily press on the brakes. If you notice deep water ahead, just turn around. Driving through a large pool is too risky. You might damage the electronics of your car, get stuck, or even get swept away if the water's moving. Number 5. Driving in the rain at night. Well, let's just pile on, shall we? Raindrops on your windshield act as a lens that refract light. As a result, they can temporarily blind you, especially if it's pouring rain and your whole windshield is covered in water. Try to adjust your headlights so that the light doesn't shine up. You might try a hydrophobic washer fluid. It keeps raindrops from sticking to your windshield. And, of course, make sure your wipers are in good condition. Replace them once a year to keep them in tip-top shape. If visibility is just too bad and you feel uncomfortable driving in torrential rain, pull over and wait it out if you can. Number 6. Driving in the snow. Reduce your speed dramatically and turn on your lights if a snowstorm has caught you off guard. Try to stay at least 3 car lengths away from the driver ahead of you. The same goes for rainy conditions. If the visibility is extremely low, slow down and turn on your hazard lights. Avoid using your brights since they can reflect light and blind you. If you can, pull over to the shoulder and wait until the weather conditions improve. If you're on the highway, look for an exit. Whatever happens, stay in your car. It's dangerous to leave it in heavy snow or even rain. Number 7. What to do if your car went into a snowdrift. If you've accidentally driven over a snow mound on the side of the road, do not turn the steering wheel in the opposite direction. Keep the same direction as before, and while steadily accelerating, get back on the road. If you're stuck in a snowdrift and you're in a stick shift, put the car in the lowest gear. This way, your tires will spin more slowly, and you'll avoid the risk of digging yourself deeper in the snow. You can also try rocking your car. If you manage to back it up a bit, then go forward. Keep doing this rocking motion. If you're lucky, you'll be progressing forward more and more until you get back on the road. However, if this method doesn't get you out of the snow after 5 minutes of trying, stop. Otherwise, you may harm your transmission. Number 8. Driving in a dust storm. As soon as a dust storm hits, pull over and entirely off the road. Also, make sure
"11 simple tricks to protect your car in winter." In most parts of the world, winter means snow, frosty weather, hot chocolate, and an ordeal for drivers. Changing the tires, cleaning snow and ice off the car in the morning, defogging the windshield and windows, and the list goes on and on. Would you like to save yourself quite a bit of time and effort in the winter months? Then listen up. Before you find out 11 simple winter car care tips and tricks, click the subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring to always stay on the bright side of life. Number 11. A solution for icy windows. You wake up one fine winter morning to find your windshield perfectly frozen. Breaking the winter spell can take a while, and it's especially painful if you're in a rush to get to work or school. If there's no way for you to park in a garage or another covered area, no worries. There's an easy home solution for you. Mix vinegar with water in a 3-to-1 ratio and spray this solution onto clear windows. Not just the windshield, but all of them, to prevent them from getting icy overnight. If you discover that your car's windows are already frozen, there's one simple way to de-ice them quickly. In a spray bottle, mix the following ingredients: 20 fluid ounces of rubbing alcohol, 6.7 fluid ounces of water, and 1 drop of dish detergent. Spray the mixture onto the icy windows and the ice will melt away. Number 10. Socks on windshield wipers. Socks on windshield wipers might sound like a name for an indie pop band, but it's actually a quick way of preventing your wipers from freezing to the windshield. First trick, leave them in a raised position as you park overnight. Second trick, put some knee-high socks on them. I bet you have a pair of those you never wear anyway in the back of your closet, so put them to good use and slip them over the wipers. They'll save you some major effort in the morning. Also, always turn off the wipers before you leave the car overnight so that they don't go on first thing in the morning when there's ice, snow, and frost on your windshield. This can burn the wiper motor. Ice on side mirrors, you can cover them overnight with plastic bags fitted in place with rubber bands. When you take off the plastic bags the following day, you'll see that the mirrors are free of ice and you won't have to clean them. Number 5. Prevent frozen or foggy headlights. Safety comes first, and every glimmer your headlights produce in gloomy winter weather contributes to it. So making sure your headlights shine bright like diamonds is crucially important. First, clean the headlights thoroughly of any dirt and let them dry. Then apply a thin layer of wax. This will prevent snow and moisture from accumulating on your lights, and you'll be able to get wherever you need to go safely this winter. Plus, the protection will last for weeks. To be 100% safe, do the same on your taillights. Number 4. Winter Survival Kit. The U.S. Marine Corps Winter Survival Course Handbook recommends that you keep enough water and some food, mostly dry snacks, in your car during the winter months. Some other items that are essential for survival in case of an emergency are matches or a lighter to start a fire, a flashlight, a metal container to boil snow into drinking water in case you run out, a space blanket, some extra clothes, a knife, a compass in case GPS lets you down, a first aid kit, this one should be in your car all year long, an ice scraper and snow brush, jumper cables, and a whistle. That sounds like a lot of stuff, but you never know what can come in handy if you find yourself stuck on a desolate winter road. Number 3. Keep your gas tank at least half full. The last thing you want when you're driving in the cold is your vehicle's engine failing. To prevent that from happening, keep your gas tank at least half full. Now you can be sure condensation won't form in its empty areas and freeze your fuel lines. You'll need the gas anyway, even in the city. When planning road trips, include enough fuel stops in your itinerary. Number 2. Start a car in the cold. It might sound obvious, but still, parking in a garage or under or near something big, like a tree or building, will keep your car warmer overnight and help you start it more easily in the morning. Use the right type of oil for your vehicle in cold conditions. It's mentioned in the owner's manual. Thumbs up if you never checked it out. Finally, to actually start the car, make sure you turn off all electrical accessories, including headlights, heater, defroster, and so on, to give all the battery amperage to the engine. Let the engine crank for a bit as you turn the key, but don't overdo it, as you can overheat the starter motor if you run it for more than 10 seconds. If that doesn't work out, wait a couple of minutes before trying again. If your car is carbureted, which means it's older than 20 years, starter fluid might help. Spray it into the air cleaner like they teach you at the auto parts store. Number 1. Get your car out of a snowbank. Unless your car is buried in snow up to the windows, it's quite easy to get unstuck without anyone's assistance. It's a good idea to keep a couple of bags of kitty litter in your trunk. If your car becomes stuck in hard snow or ice, sprinkle some cat litter in front of the tires and you'll get out of that mini crisis easily. Another great trick for getting your car out of a snowbank is to use your floor mats. Take out the floor mats from the car and place them under the tires. This
Ice, snow, and slush often come with the winter season, but that doesn't mean your car has to be in a deep freeze. Consider these tips to help prepare your vehicle for cold weather. Extreme temperature changes may affect your car, so it's important to make sure it's in working order before winter arrives. You may want to switch to a winter-grade oil to keep your engine running properly in lower temperatures. Check the owner's manual to be sure you're choosing the appropriate oil for your vehicle. Seasonal changes are a good time to make sure your car's cooling system is in working order. Ensure the battery is charged, and check the hoses to be sure the rubber is in good shape. As the temperature falls, so does the air pressure in your tires. Low tire pressure can adversely affect your car's handling, so it's important to keep your tires properly inflated. Check tire tread as well, and replace tires that are wearing down or uneven. If you're in an area with particularly severe winter weather, you may want to consider a set of snow tires. Keep your windshield washer reservoir full, so you can keep your windshield clear, even on snowy days. You may need de-icer or concentrate if you live in a particularly cold area. Also check your windshield wipers. Replace worn or dried out wiper blades to help maintain visibility, especially if a snowstorm is headed your way. Ensure your car's headlights are working in preparation for fewer daylight hours. Clean the lenses of your exterior lights and replace any burnt-out bulbs. If you have questions or are not comfortable tackling this yourself, talk to your mechanic. You may also be able to help prevent your car doors from freezing by using some cooking spray on the rubber edges or gaskets. While you should already have an emergency kit in your car, consider adding items that can be helpful in cold or snowy weather. You may want to include items like a shovel, gloves, boots, an ice scraper, and sand or kitty litter for traction on slippery roads. Winter weather presents some different driving hazards, and the cold may also affect your vehicle. With some preparation and preventive maintenance, though,